reason why people think that he's a Saudi Arabian oil prince, and it's fake. I don't know if it is or not, but I think it's funny. A Saudi prince has reportedly changed their Steam profile picture after EA sale. I bought EA. Thank you so much, Reddit. And so anyway, there's that. What is that, PFP? Bro, like, they just do what they do. And so anyway, let's go back over. I'll look at a few more of these. So Saudi Arabia, no, here it is. And yeah, EA has announced plans to be acquired for $55 billion by a consortium of investors led by Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. That's right, boys. EA is getting, and by the way, what a good deal. I thought it was worth way more than that. Wait, with the FIFA, like, I thought EA was worth like 70 or 80 billion dollars. I was shocked that it was so cheap. And so anyway, it's in the game. Yes, exactly. And Jared Kushner, yeah, he was involved with it too. Absolutely. And so let me go back. I'll show you guys some more information about this too. So I'm mad that the stock fell hard. Well, it doesn't matter what the stock is. The thing is that, and this is what, so I said this myself. I said, let me open this up here. I said, this is a great business move for Saudi Arabia. It fits perfectly into their strategy of consolidating and making the Middle East an entertainment and sports center. EA makes FIFA. It's very obvious that a lot of the guys, like, because you've got to keep this in mind, a lot of the Saudi Arabian princes at this point, and the men that are making decisions, like MBS, I think is the main one, right? But you have other guys too. You look at these guys, and they're not 70-year-old men. Some of them are, but many of them are in their you know, maybe late 30s, 40s, and 50s. These guys didn't grow up only in Saudi Arabia. They probably traveled internationally. They have, you know, they've been on the internet forever. They've been all around the world. These guys know where things are going. And I think it's very obvious that, you know, oil money and the energy efficiency of oil might not always be something the Middle East can rely on. So what these guys are doing, and I think it's really smart that they're doing this, is that they're trying to recalibrate their entire industry and their entire fucking economy into entertainment, sports, and media. That's clearly what they're trying to do. They're trying to diversify. And I think it's a great idea. And yes, bro, exactly. They want their money spent on FIFA booster packs. Well, and here's the other thing too. It's smart. Yeah. And the thing is that you might disagree. Oh, Saudi Arabia kills journalists. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they're not stupid. They're not dumb. They're not like low, like their IQ is not low. They're not stupid people. You might disagree with what their viewpoints are and disagree with what they do. It's the same as China or whatever else. The people that are running the country are not dumb. They're just simply disagreeing with you, and their values are a lot different than yours are, you could say. And so, yeah, that's it. Are women allowed to drive there? So I had a friend from Saudi Arabia, and he told me that the reason why women didn't want to drive, women didn't drive is because they didn't want to and they were lazy, and they didn't even want to show up to say that they wanted to drive. I don't know how often people get in accidents over in Saudi Arabia. I have no idea. Yeah, but apparently they made them, this is like a few years ago, right? And so I don't believe it. I think that they can drive now. And it's very obvious that Saudi Arabia and the Middle East are making themselves more westernized in the process of trying to appeal to a global audience through entertainment and media. And I think that this will be an interplay. So like in the same way that people criticize sports washing and they criticize, oh, wow, you know, the Middle East is doing this or China's doing this so they can have more of a cultural control. I think this goes both ways. And I think that it also is a cultural exchange where when you have the people that are in that country that are seeing the way that maybe the West does things or the way that, you know, maybe Japan does things or other countries, they do things, that's going to change their perspective and their worldview also. So it's not just going to be a one-way street. It's a good thing. I think it's a positive form of globalism. I do. I am a big advocate and a big fan of a global cultural exchange where each country retains their own autonomy to do what they want, but they can like, enjoy, and engage in other cultures and other economies to the degree that they want to. That, like, I'm a big fan of that. And the reason why I'm such a big fan of this is because of the way that I grew up. So I grew up in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is a massively multiracial place. And I grew up in a very multiracial environment. You know, like, I was actually a minority in my high school. It was like 60 or 70% Hispanic. And then, you know, the remainder was like black and white. And like white people and black people were about equal with the like proportion of like how many people were in the school. And so like that's the way that I grew up. And I felt like that was a very, it prepared me as an individual, as a kid, to get along with anybody. And I think that then when I get on the internet and I started talking to people in Canada, I started talking to guys in Brazil, I met people that lived in the Middle East. I asked them, I said, so what happens if like a woman goes out not wearing that thing? And they just tell you. And I think that the value of that is so indispensable. It's so valuable. Because I think that that breaks down xenophobia, it breaks down other types of stereotypes, and it breaks down cultural divides that I think that whenever you have two people that can deal with each other, that's what really matters. At the end of the day, it matters it's on a personal level. Can you deal with and can you live with this other person? And I think that on the internet, and correct me if I'm wrong, tell me if you guys have had the same experience too, I've learned that in most cases, the answer to that is yes. It doesn't matter if it's a super traditionalist Muslim, if it's a hyper liberal trans person. If we're in a raid together, our goal is killing the boss, and we can work together. And I think that being on the internet and growing up the way that I did gave me such a great insight and such a great understanding of how to do that with people. And you know this now with me as an adult. How many times do I ever have drama with other people? Do I ever have drama with other people? No, I don't have issues with other people. I don't have like these fights with other people, like these weird, like, you know, big issues, etc. Almost never. Yeah, never. And so, Hassan? No, Hassan, like, I disagree with Hassan on things that are political. I don't dislike Hassan really I don't hate Hassan. I just disagree with his opinions on things. Like, these are two very, very different things. And I think that growing up the way that I did gave me the ability to be able to distinguish between the two things. And I think that's something that's extremely healthy. And whenever I see globalism like this happening, it makes me happy. Because it makes me hope that the next generation of guys is going to have the same experience that I did. Because I know that how valuable and how enriching that was for me as a person. And I hope that other people will have that too. Does that sound crazy? That's how I see things. That's the way I look at them. I'm not saying this is always the case or anything like that, but that's generally what I think. And are you sure you want to be back now and I have to deal with me? Yeah, I remember you. And yes, I do. Dearborn, Michigan. Oh, sure. I mean, you definitely have. Listen, there are instances of religious extremism that are problematic, and I totally agree with you, etc. Like, I don't want to bring Muslim fundamentalist culture into America in the same way that I don't want to bring American culture into Saudi Arabia. I think that these two places can coexist and can have mutual respect without having to completely, be mixed together. You know, is that hard? Is that complicated? I don't think it's complicated. So, yeah, I understand. Yeah, unless they want it. Yeah, of course, right? And but it did happen in Saudi. Well, I'm not really sure what's happening in Saudi Arabia with everything. So yes, Saudi Arabia is buying EA, and a lot of people are saying, let me see if I can pull this up. Gay, EA, Saudi, gay. The end of gay at EA. The buyout is official. $55 million deal. EA is now owned by a conglomerate which includes Jared Kushner and the Saudis. There is zero chance the studio continues with virtue signaling and DEI shenanigans. I don't think that this is as guaranteed as you might imagine, but it's not like they're going to come out with a press release and say, we're getting rid of all the gay people now. All the rainbow people, we're deleting them. They're not going to just come out and say that in the press release. But that doesn't mean that it might not happen. Obviously, I do think this will play a role in the way that different things are told, right? And also, by the way, here's some silver lining. Now, there's a chance that maybe not Call of Duty, but Battlefield could have the storyline that September 11th was actually an inside job. You know, like, you stop the planes and everything and the towers still fall down. Now it's going to be Battlefield and not fucking Call of Duty, right? And there's a possibility for it now, right? Stop it. Yeah, sure, they wouldn't. I don't think they would either, but that would be absolute fucking cinema, wouldn't it be? Yes, directed by Michael Bay. Yes, bro. And then, yes, oh my God, play the Linkin Park sound as they go down. Holy fuck, that would be insane. And, yeah, Summer Building 7, yeah. Any from the Saudi perspective, exactly. And Cinema Hallway, yes, this would be a proper timeline. So, yeah, we thought it was going to be Call of Duty. No, it's not. I mean, you've seen the building destruction mechanics for Battlefield, so they're already halfway there. Anyway, I don't need to make any more 9/11 jokes, right? But actually, I will, but not yet. My point is, this is probably going to change the way that EA games are being made, and it's probably going to change the way that different games get greenlit and different games get approved, right? Why did Bush do it? That's the big question, right? And not because of Saudi or Kushner's personal beliefs, but because the strategies do not make money. And this is also another really big important thing, is that why is it that all of these non-westernized countries and companies are not pushing, you know, like a gender ideology or like a sex ideology? The reason why is because it doesn't make money. Like, adding this stuff into video games doesn't make money. The only time that it happens is in the West, because that's the people that really care about it a lot. And so, yeah, that's it. Saudi Arabia Games and Sony, I guess, right? And it doesn't make money. Well, it never made money, right? And that's the thing. And so EA took on debt to do it, which makes the company focus laser-like on profits and growth above all else. The whole idea of a buyout like this is because investors believe that they can make more money on this than being public. I think they're right. I do. And here's another reason, is that Saudi Arabia is, like, they're trying to make their own, like, they already have their own golf league. They have their own soccer or football league as well. And they're trying to, obviously, like, EA is a vertical piece of that integration to making sure that, like, the Middle East is, like, the hub for football, soccer, and entertainment and media. Yeah, like MMA also. Yeah, of course. Their golf league is ass. Yeah, I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, it's going to take them time to develop this and make it good. But the point is that they're working on it over time. And so that's really the point. Oh, Dubai hosts the Overwatch Championship? Yeah, exactly. Do you think that in the Dubai Overwatch Championship, Tracer or Soldier 76 being gay is ever discussed? I've got a feeling maybe not. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's going to be a no Peruskis for me. And so, yeah, Soldier 76 is from the game. Yes, he is. And, yeah, Mercy, she's from a video game? Wait, what? And it's never being discussed anyways. Well, they're not showing any key art with, like, them with their partner or anything like that at all. And I could probably see Blizzard doing that if it was something that was happening in California. I can definitely tell you that. So EA is getting bought out, etc. And then you have, this is also another person who's saying this. This is former BioWare lead writer, reads the runes on the EA Saudi deal and speculates that guns and football are in, gay stuff is out. Who writes a fucking title like this? Guns and football are in and gay stuff out. Like, by the way, were you trying to say, like, I'm sorry, but have you never been on the internet before? Don't tell me this is something that you're criticizing them for, because I don't think a lot of people on the internet are going to see it that way. And, Jesus, how many fucking pop-ups am I going to get? Oh my God. And so, yeah, our changes are going to come to Apex then, because one of the characters is trans. Is it? No, I thought they were non-binary if you're talking about Bloodhound, but maybe they added a trans character too. I have no idea. I haven't kept up with Apex ever since the game came out. So the rumor's been swirling for a while. Let me see here, and let me see if I can find and pick it up. And I wouldn't want to be sitting in a BioWare chair right now. So, and then here we go too. The rumors have been meaning the new EA is instantly saddled with $20 billion of debt and will face intense pressure to crank those profits. It's also the latest step in the Saudi Arabian investment fund's mission to sports wash its brutal regime by using its influence, ubiquity across entertainment industries to distract from some of the world's most appalling human rights abuses. It's working. It's working. And you know who else is doing it very well? Is China. China is doing it extremely well. I think that the reason why, I mean, obviously, I think the country that did this first and that did this best, two countries that did it very well, I think in terms of a top-down decision to do it was South Korea, and in terms of something that happened organically was Japan. Because look at how many people are weebs now. People love fucking Japan. They love anime. You know, they all want to go there, love Nintendo, etc. That's a degree of cultural exchange and soft power that you can't really buy. It's something that just happens over time. And so love hentai. Yes, a lot of people love hentai. I heard that with young people jerk off to hentai more than they do to real girls. And I don't know what that says about the future, but I think I do. And that's not so good. And anyway, so let me see if I can find the rest of this here and see if I can pick it up. And where the fuck did it go? This is some of the older stuff. I don't know if there's any more of this. And fuck, EA games. I'll see if there's any more of this to go over and talk about, but I think that's basically it. And oh God. I mean, this is what's going to happen, like, for sure. Of course they're not going to be pushing this stuff. I think anybody could expect that. So, yeah. And it's just evolution where we all download our brains into the internet. Yeah, I guess that's what's happening. By Saudis buying EA, did we not accelerate the Robot Catgirl program? I think that we might have. I do. I think that there's a good chance we might have accelerated and we might have robot catgirls sooner than we originally anticipated, which is great. I'm happy. And it's about fucking time, right? I mean, damn. They borrowed $20 billion from USD to JP Morgan to buy EA. Well, it looks like that's what's going to, they're going to be trying to make as much money as possible. The quotes from the BioWare employees about the EA situation make me so sad. Now, how do you know that this is somebody that, like, why can't I reply? Hoes mad. A tale as old as time. Oh, it's a classic, isn't it? Yep, you get that all the time. And what do you expect? I mean, she's got her pronouns in a bio. I mean, what do you... That's the first thing you put in there. Usually people have it at the end. Not her. And so, make me sad, the EA situation. I wish them nothing but the best. I hope they can continue to make Mass Effect 5 the game they want to make. The game that they want to make. Man. Where'd the picture go? I guess I can't find it anymore. But, yeah, about that. I don't know about that one. Let me see if I can pull this up again. And, we're going to keep working until they tell us we're done. It's not the healthiest way to live, but as long as the paychecks keep coming, we're not going to just walk away. That's right. And I love this. I love this comment because it really goes to show that the moment that these people have to endure any level of, you know, like insecurity or any level of discomfort for having any values, immediately the values go away. And I think that's important to keep in mind. I'm not saying that the values don't matter, but I'm saying that if these are the same people that want everybody else to carry their flag for them, they won't even do it for themselves. And so there you go. I've been doing it since last year, making sure I have a portfolio ready and feelers out for the job. They say kind of feels like a matter of time. Look at the negativity that came after Dragon Age, said one source. If we felt it was only going to get worse then, can you imagine what some of us think now? Gentlemen, would you like a glimpse into the future? Would you like to see things as they will be in 1 year? Man, it's not looking good for you. That's just the way it goes. And Big Mac, please? Yeah, exactly. No, the reason why this is happening, I'm going to be real, it's because the games don't make any money. If putting a bunch of gay and trans stuff in your games made money, then this would never have happened in the first place. The problem is that these people want to force a viewpoint into a video game and then get mad when people don't buy it, and then they start crying when the company gets shut down. And here's another one. There's another video game company, Contraband, what was the Avalanche, right? Avalanche Studio. See if I can find this real quick. Yes, so there was a new video game studio, and Avalanche is imploding. So you see right here, I have reasonably confirmed the devs I spoke to used to work at studios in question. So on the Sweet Baby Inc. website, Avalanche Studios Group was on their list. And now, a studio update from Avalanche Studios Group. In light of the current challenges to our business and the industry, we have thoroughly reviewed how to best ensure Avalanche Studio Group's long-term success. The review has led us to the difficult conclusion that we must make changes to our staffing and location. As a result, we are proposing to close our Liverpool studio to initiate the collective consultation process as required by UK law. This will impact all Avalanchers in Liverpool. The changes will also impact our other studio locations in Malmo and Stockholm, where we will reduce our workforce and restructure. Guys, it's not a mass firing. They're only restructuring. It's going to be fine. To address our game's needs, our immediate focus is to offer full support to the Avalanchers during this challenging time. Despite those changes, we remain deeply committed to providing amazing games to our passionate player communities. This also came about like a month after they canceled one of their games. And so anyway, that's what happens. It's absolutely not a mass firing. No, it's not a mass firing. They're just shutting down entire studios. No, but that's not what's happening. Yeah, so Avalanche Studios is cooked, I guess. And you see, obviously, and this is the problem. You know, 2011 to 2019. I wonder which one people want to be. Another 2011 to 2019. I wonder which one people want to be. Too bad, huh? Man, everything's fine. Yes, Sweden is home of Embracer. I really hope this will hit them as well. I think that this will happen to every single one of these like weird companies that's being run by activists. Like and I think that the activists inside of these companies are a cancer. And I don't think that it's like, actually, it's not a cancer, it's an infection. And when a limb gets infected, you can't remove all the infected cells and then just keep the limb. You have to cut the whole limb off. And I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that you can remove these people and then just kind of keep going as normal. I think this is a death sentence. Because you can't remove them because they're trying to, like, they control HR stuff, etc. You gotta just not hire these people in the first place. Blizzard is run by activists. Well, it's actually really funny that you bring that up. Blizzard is run by activists. I haven't even downloaded a fucking ad block for this yet, so it's a little bit annoying. So the Warcraft channel just went live earlier today, and this is the deep dive into the new expansion. It only had 11,000 viewers. Oh my God. Did you watch it? No, I was asleep. Actually, that's not true. I was reading Twitter. Yeah, same shit with Ubisoft. Yes, exactly. It sounds about right. Yeah. And again, like, this isn't like, oh wow, this determines the game is bad or something like that. But I do think that it's worth considering that the level of enthusiasm and interest that people have has certainly gone down. Like, you compare this to 2018, like even back here it was pretty popular, at least a little bit. And like, you just look at some of these other ones, like it's AWC. When was the last time they did something that was not just like an event? Like, when was the last time they did something where they talked about the game? It's just a bunch of, like, esports bullshit. So even the Mythic Dungeon Invitational was getting more views than this. This is crazy. Yeah, it's just all, it's all esports stuff. A lot of those viewers are streamers from others restreaming it, though. You're right that it definitely had, no, that's a good point that you're making, that it had lower viewers because you had people restreaming it. But I would argue that that was the same in 2021. Like, a lot of people, there were a lot of times whenever I would stream to Blizzard events, I would have more viewers than Blizzard did. And I think that was very common. So yeah, the we call Ascension WoW video has 77k views. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about like fucking like private servers. I'm not into private servers. I'm just talking about like the baseline games. But what I'm saying is that Blizzard is, Blizzard is clearly, not doing well also. But yeah, Avalanche Studios has been shut down. So EA being bought by Saudi Arabia. Let me just kind of finish this up. What does this mean for EA? What does this mean for like, how things are going to go? I think EA is absolutely... Man. How about that? I don't know what to say, guys. I really don't. Soccer is haram. Yeah. So I think that there is a good chance, a very, very good chance, that things will be changing. Yeah, the social messaging in games will be going away. Expect predatory monetization to go through the roof. Absolutely, 100%. Every single fandom that revolves around a game EA owns today. Yep, that's about right. And holy fucking shit. Me, after the Saudi Arabia EA buying out, knowing this will eliminate all the woke slop from EA games in the future, it won't eliminate all of them, but it will eliminate a lot of them. And so, yeah, that's basically it. And I think this is going to be, check my chat about Ubisoft. Well, I don't know what Ubisoft is getting bought out by China. And this is the issue, is that you have a lot, and at a certain point, isn't it weird that, so, by the way, so my new PC, it has an AMD processor and an AMD graphics card. I go to download NVIDIA GeForce Experience, and it wouldn't let me download it because I didn't have an NVIDIA graphics card. Ever since like 2010, I've had NVIDIA graphics cards. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, is this a bug? What's going on? And like, it took me like 5 or 10 minutes to realize you can't download it because you don't even have a fucking graphics card for this. NVIDIA is better at GPU. I'm getting very soon 5090. Ooh. Ooh, very, very soon. Oh, it's gonna be good. Oh, it's gonna be real good. So, yeah, feeling real good. Don't forget a line. Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to happen, and might be very soon. I got a message about it earlier. I'll probably respond to it and get into it later. But anyway, let me see if I can find this here. And Consumer Worries, Saudi Arabia removed women from Sims 4 image. Do you think this will affect the existing $2,000 DLCs in the game, including LGBTQ DLCs? Absolutely not. I don't think that it will at all. The reason why is that it's regional. So, like, whenever you have companies that do this stuff, they have regional pricing and they also have regional media. It's the same reason why, like, Mercedes changes, like, their UK logo to a rainbow, but that never happens in Mercedes Dubai. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe the social media manager there just doesn't really do his job in June. I wonder why. And so anyway, I don't think that's really what's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be there's not going to be a lot of retroactive changes. There's no blacks in China. There are some, and I think that also, you want to know what's really funny? I still think, I unironically think that Trump should do this. Trump should give iShowSpeed $10 million for creating more value, more soft power, and a better cultural exchange by doing his China tour than USAID had in 20 fucking years. That went so hard. And yeah, you had a few racists and assholes. Yeah, sure. But on a baseline, that was amazing. Like, you want to talk about real fucking soft power, you look at iShowSpeed. That's the real one. China don't like foreigners? Yeah, definitely. And, yeah, Speed dealt with it well. There's always assholes. And you see Speed gifting a Rolex to his bus driver? Yeah. I mean, like, that's something, it's like, I remember I had a dream where I won the lottery. And the only thing that I was doing was I was on the phone with my accountant and my money manager about how we're going to deal with this in taxes. Like, I never spent any of the money. It was just like a headache because, like, I was like, okay, so how much is this going to be in taxes? And okay, so how are we going to allocate this money? Yeah, it was like an actual, like, it was one of those, like, fucking, like, very neutral kind of, like, soft horrors where you've won all this money, but it turns out to be like a monkey's paw fucking, you know, it's a gift that becomes a curse, right? It was a nightmare. Yeah, it wasn't even a nightmare. It was just like me sitting in the lobby. The only thing I remember about the dream is me sitting in the lobby of the casino on the phone trying to get the bank account information to the casino person, and it, like, there was like a mix-up there because they weren't communicating with each other properly. So it wasn't even like nothing bad happened, nothing good happened. It was just, it was the most real life dream that you could possibly have. Bro stressing out in his dreams? Yes, exactly. And winning the lottery was a nightmare for you? I mean, listen. I'm a very simple man, okay? I like only a few things. I like soda. I like Chipotle. And I like beef jerky. This is $20, by the way. Can you believe that? Oh my God. It was not worth it, by the way. I already said soda. Okay, well then I'm pretty much done. Yep, that's about it. And so, yeah, I've got I don't need a lot. I don't want a lot. Everything, like, this is the reason I was talking, like, people are like, oh, you're just going to give away all your dad's stuff. Yes! Yes, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want his fucking bed. I don't want to deal with it. No, get it out of my life. Get it out of my life. I was meant, I really believe this, I was meant to live in a monastery. I even have the hairline for it. I do. I should have did, this is, I'm not inside of my, this is not my intended programming. I'll say that. And the car, I am taking the car. We are master looting the car. But aside from that, we're keeping everything else. So, yeah. Anyway, so let me get back to what I was saying. I don't even know how I got distracted by this. I have no clue. But anyway, countries... Not coconut trees. You know, my mom told me that she'd take me to Chuck E. Cheese anytime I got an A on a spelling test. Never went to Chuck E. Cheese. Countries that can't do media because they are mean. And so let me see, how do I make it rap? View word wrap. Okay, there we go. And so, yeah, right. So you have Middle East, China, let's see here, Russia, let's see, who else besides this? India, sometimes, Let's see, besides this, other countries, North Korea, Turkey, it's kind of Middle East, but like not really, Israel, Nigeria, I mean, like, yeah, Pakistan. Here's my point, okay? It seems to me that all of the virtue signalers on social media will not accept any form of media unless maybe it's from Japan. They won't accept any media from any other culture at all, because these other cultures have viewpoints and ideologies that we think are reductive. Isn't that kind of crazy whenever you think about it? Like, the Middle East can't make video games, and they can't get involved with media because it's sports washing. China can't do it for whatever other reason. And so I hate this virtue signaling, and I hate this weird thing where, and also, by the way, I would never want to live in any of these countries. I wouldn't. I love living in America. I don't want America to be more like these countries. But at the same time, I just hate this weird fucking shit that people are doing where any of these countries that does anything, oh, we can't consume media from them because, oh my God, they do bad, their government does bad things. Why are these people trying to make rules for everybody else and how they should behave? It's outrageous. So yeah, Portland coverage on this, it's happening here. Oh, Portland, I have seen that. I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but let me finish this up. I think this is so overbearing and obnoxious and annoying. I hate it, okay? Just so you know, when you were on break, the left started calling the alt-right Indians. The left horseshoed themselves in doing right-wing racism. The left started calling the alt-right Indians? What? What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't even know what you mean by that. Yeah, it's like Black Myth Wukong. People hated on it. They didn't want to support it because of China. It was a fantastic game. Yeah, exactly. And they also didn't want to support it because the way that it showed women. And so that's the problem, is that we have self-appointed cultural gatekeepers in Western culture that constantly try to virtue signal and purity test any media that comes from a non-Western culture and censor, control, and dictate the way that that media is supposed to be done. And they do this against the will of the public. They do this against the will of the consumers, and they force themselves into these positions in HR, in certain types of marketing positions, and in journalism, and they create these narratives and they lie about this stuff, and I think it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Source? I just look at it. I don't do any sources. All of my statistics and everything are made up, but they're also true. That's just the way it is. Like, I'm not going to look up a statistic and look up a fucking, like, a graph, and it's like, oh, yeah, well, you know, if you look at the graph says this. Fuck the graph. What am I reading a fucking graph for? Why I need to read a motherfucking graph? Nah, I just simply look at it. That's the way it is. It's that simple. Yeah, source, trust me, bro. Yeah, I just make it the fuck up. And by the way, most of the time, I would say 99%, I guess I'm doing it right now, 99% of the time, whenever I make up a statistic, it's right. I'll say that. It's vibes. Yeah, all of my data, everything is just vibes. You been around? Yeah, I just look on the internet and I look at some posts and it's like, oh, that's probably the way it is. It's that simple. I'm going to paraphrase. The left started accusing the popular right-wing accounts of being run from India. Oh, right. So there has been a push to... I really don't like... By the way, I've got to say this because nobody else says this. I hate the way that people treat Indians now. I think it's so disgusting and it's so unfair. The most patriotic and positive and, in my opinion, some of the people that have done the most work and effort to become functional, beneficial members of American society have been not American Indians in terms of like Native Americans, but I mean Indians from India who have come here and immigrated to become Americans. I hate the idea and this like weird bullshit that we have where we constantly talk down to.
That's a bunch of bullshit. I've worked in tech for a decade. There are a lot of very, very nasty Indians who have a lot of negative things to say about the average American and do not hold our values. Asmongold is wrong as hell on this. Super big L take from Asmon on this one.
And treat Indians badly. I think the reason why it's socially acceptable is because Indians, like, on average, make a lot of money. Because many of them that are immigrants come from the highest class, the Brahmin class. Many of them do, and so they have good jobs, access to good education. And so because they're seen as a privileged class, it's okay to say rude things to them. I hate this. I think it's disgusting. I think it's wrong. And, yeah, culture issues, fuck that. Fuck that culture. This guy's wearing an American flag on his shirt, okay? Like, he's a voting fucking conservative Republican. Like, cultural issues, my ass. Get the fuck out of here. No, it's just racism, and I don't like it. I think Indians get the short end of this.
Indians also are extremely racist and do group collective hiring. That's a bunch of bullshit as well. He is extremely uneducated on this subject. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's... Ugh.
Stick, and I think that it's a form of racism that has become more culturally and socially acceptable, and I don't think that it's deserved at all. I think India, I've looked at pictures of India. Place looks like a shithole to me. It does. But they're not in India. They're in America. That's what I think. I don't like it. It's gross. Yeah. It should all, yeah, it is. It is. I've seen photos. Like, I'm not saying the place isn't a shithole. It is. But, like, they're not living there. They came here. And so, yeah, anyway, that's, I don't know. I don't like the way Indians are treated on social media. I think it's unfair. Okay, I can go through and talk about this a bunch, but, you know, that's pretty much my fucking 2 cents on this. I find it to be very annoying. And, where the fuck is the rest of these? There's been so many things that have happened. I've gotten so distracted. What was I going to say besides that? And, yeah, what is this Clean India Google Maps challenge? I've heard of it. We're not going to do it. I mean, again, India might be a gross country, and this is the way I think India is, and a lot of other places are. India is probably a place where there are some really nice places, and there are some places that are awful. I have no doubt that there are probably nice places in India. I would love to visit India and go to those places. I'd even probably go to the shitty places too, just to see what it's like, right? I mean, just in the same as, like, you know, just to have that, the experience of that and to just see what it is. But that being said,
he's never going to India. What the fuck is he talking about?
You know, it's not somewhere I'd want America to be, right? I wouldn't want America to be like this. ICE agents are jumping out of white vans to chase down and arrest Antifa members outside of the ICE facility. Look at this. Man, got him. Yep, awesome. Tag him and bag him. Yep. This should have happened in 2020 when they started burning down their own city because of BLM. It really should have happened then. I don't know why it didn't happen then, but now it is finally happening. Now, obviously, here's one of the things, is that not all of these are successful, however. When Pete Hegseth made his speech yesterday, he was talking about this guy. This guy right there. He was thinking about him. Yep. They caught him? No? Oh, I bet they did. And anyway, so that's just, yeah, you're overburdened, I guess so. And I said, this is what AoE farming as a mage feels like. Because it does feel kind of like, you remember, like, whenever you would round up all the mobs on your mount, and then you'd, like, you know, jump off the mount and frost nova them? That is exactly the way that this felt to me whenever I was watching it. It was really fucking funny. And do roll a 10 for evasion. Yes, exactly. And so, yes, all of these have not gone quite as well. And anyway, so there's a lot of protests here that are happening. And you've got... It's just you're having a bad day. Man. Oh, God. Using Game of Thrones. I love it. And so, yeah, obviously these people are getting arrested like fucking crazy, and this is the reason why I don't feel bad for them, is because the reason why they're mad is because they're not able to do that to other people themselves. I remember when BLM was happening, they were running people down and assaulting them constantly. So whenever these people are weaker in numbers, they're the victims, but whenever they have the numbers, they're doing it to everybody else. They still do? Yeah, they do. Yep. Oh, here we go. Nick Shirley clip? Yeah, I'll see if I can pull it up.
Oh my God.
Yep. What? See, they would do this shit too. This is why I never feel bad about the cops getting these people, because these are... Why are you hitting somebody like this? What are you doing hitting people? What an odd-looking American flag. Well, that's how you know that it's in America, because it's a bunch of different flags. If it's all one flag, then it's in another country. If it's all different flags, it's in America.
Hit me in the face. I will make you. Fuck you. Put it the fuck down.
Yep. We need to put these animals in cages. That's what I think. I think they need to go and arrest every single one of these fucking pieces of shit, put them in fucking jail, make them compelled labor, actually give them a job for once in their life, and it'll make everybody, including themselves, better off.
Asmon, who's admitted to never, ever, ever working a job in his entire fucking life. Are you serious with that? I mean, I agree that these guys are lazy and have nothing going on, but like... What the fuck is Asmon talking about? He got famous playing World of Warcraft and fucking living off food stamps. The fuck is he on?
What a bunch of pieces of shit. Some of them probably should go to insane asylums. You're right. Maybe not all prison. And you can see how they act towards people whenever they have the numbers. They clearly do the exact same thing. Oh, this is the clip. I think I've seen this one. Here we go.
Get the fuck out.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, I didn't do anything.
Hey, get the fuck out.
You get out of here. Don't try to hit me.
He got aggro.
Get out of here.
Well, I have
Get
no...
out of here. Don't come back.
Get away from me.
I see you again.
Get...
See, what they got, this is a person, this is a perfect candidate for a federal prison work program. I think it'd be better for everybody. I think we have ourselves a bona fide 2%er. Perfect candidate. He's young, he's in shape, he clearly can speak and walk around easily. Perfect candidate.
Away from me, sir.
Get the
Where are you? You're pushing me onto the road.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let me move. Let me get out. If you're gonna let me get out.
Fucking walk.
Hey,
Nope.
Sir, stop it.
Fucking walk.
Stop.
Walk, motherfucker.
What are you doing? Why are you so mad? I
Man.
didn't do anything.
You did.
What did I do?
Walk.
Makes me
I haven't
sick.
done anything.
No, and this is the thing. This is the reason why these people would be even more violent and even more aggressive if they could be. The only reason why they're not is they're not allowed to be.
Do not come back.
Watch out.
You come back, I'm gonna fucking smoke you, dude.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm
Why?
gonna smash that fucking camera.
Stop it. Stop.
Just relax.
Sir, stop it.
Stop sticking your camera to people's fucking face.
I have the right to be here.
Okay, did I say
I have the right to be here. I have the right to film. You have DHS watching you right there, lasered on you.
I
You have a
didn't do
sniper
nothing.
lasered on you right now.
Bro. They just let him know. Literally just put a fucking sniper on him. A laser on his ass. Yeah.
Give a fuck.
So
Stop
watch
it.
this.
Stop sticking your camera in people's face.
I didn't do anything wrong. You have a sniper on you right now.
And you see how the moment that he saw that he had that green dot on him, he's like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go. All right, never mind. Okay, yeah. Well, you saw that vibe shift real quick. And so, yeah, exactly. And that, yeah, aggro reset, exactly. No, people not going to do this if there's a threat of them getting in trouble. People only do this and are only violent like this whenever they're allowed to be. And that's the problem. And so, really, I think that this is the way they should handle all of these people, right? Is they should just arrest them and stop them from doing this.
Portland.
I mean, I've got no problem with people that want to protest, but whenever you're being violent, you're destroying property, you're throwing rocks at people, etc. That's really the issue, right? That's obviously been the issue. He was staggered. Yes, clearly. It's funny how one small dot changes your confidence level immediately. Sure is, right? It's because these people are pussies all along. I just clicked a random point in the video. I swear to God, I haven't seen this at all. Let's see what Bozo has to say.
Out here for.
Well, I've been protesting in different cities across the country now since
How?
they broke out early this summer. So,
What makes you so enthusiastic about protesting?
because there's a lot to protest.
How do you get the money to do that?
What do you think they should do with illegal migrants if they are here illegally? For instance, because the last 4 years underneath Joe Biden, there was like over 10 million. Should they all just be allowed to stay here, or how should Trump go about doing that?
Well, first of all, I don't think anyone's illegal. I think that's just kind of like a hot button word.
Well, okay, yeah. What's your address? We'll see what happens and what you think when somebody shows up in your house. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I see this all the time. It's like, it's a new one. Nobody is illegal. Yeah, sure, right? Until it happens to you. I don't even know if I can say this. So, a freedom fighter decided to firebomb and destroy Ice Cube's tour bus because he thought that it was ICE, as in, like, the immigration services. Legendary rapper Ice Cube tour bus was bombed by Antifa after they mistook the hip-hop legend's bus for ICE authorities.
Goddamn, I'm glad y'all set it off. Used to be hard, now you just been soft, but you was there with the AK. And now I see you on a video with... Goddamn.
I don't know why the song made it so fucking funny. But average Antifa IQ, yeah. And this is what they do. This, by the way, is the reason why they got designated as a terrorist organization. The reason why they got designated as a terrorist organization is because they terrorize people. That's what they do. And so what a surprise that a lot of people don't want to deal with that. Who could have ever guessed? Yeah, Antifa now gang wars? Yeah, I guess so. And would you like ice in your drink, sir? Uh-oh. Yeah, what is this? If I can see if I find the rest of this. Yeah.
Portland, Oregon, didn't y'all just blow up? Of course Donald Trump is sending whatever troops are necessary to Portland, Oregon. Didn't y'all just blow up Ice Cube's tour bus thinking he was affiliated with ICE? Y'all are stupid. The mayor of Portland thinks the troops that Donald Trump are sending are unnecessary because the city is safe and calm. Bullshit.
There's probably places in Portland that are really nice and calm, but there's probably Portland's probably a lot like Austin, where there are like PvP and PvE areas in the city. And I guarantee you that there are probably really nice places in Portland and that none of this bad stuff happens and it's not a problem. But there are also the bad places. And the bad places are the problem. 6th Street? No, bro, it's across I-35. That's the, like, you know, like in The Lion King, whenever, Mufasa is with Simba, he says, all that shines in the light is our kingdom. And then Simba's like, well, what's that over there? He's like, that's the Shadowlands. We won't talk about that ever. That's the other fucking side. That's it. In Austin, and if you live in Austin, the Bone Graveyard, yes, you know that I'm right about this. Now, most of the area now has been gentrified as fuck, but back in the day, that's the way it used to be.
Portland, Oregon has consistently ranked as having one of the highest property crime rates amongst major U.S. cities. Y'all are tweaking. That's not the only reason. Donald Trump said Portland is under siege by Antifa, which he's labeling as a domestic terrorist organization.
Oh my God. I used to pray for times like this. I used to be thinking to myself, man, one day somebody gonna finally do it. They're gonna finally fucking call this real shit. Yeah, thank fucking God. It's about time.
They should be labeled. Which, if you think about it,
God.
when George Floyd was killed, those $2 billion in property damages were by Antifa. Good golly.
Yeah,
of course there were others, but the equipment that the protesters are using wasn't funded by the air. Use your pink meat. Domestic terrorism sounds so large and big. However, the people that set Ice Cube's tour bus on fire,
this one guy,
they live here.
Yeah.
Domestic fire terrorists. Simple. There has been a 700%.
It's crazy how it's so fucking obvious, but some people like to contort themselves into thinking that it's not. It's completely fucking obvious.
Increase in attacks on ICE facilities and ICE agents since the beginning of the year. 700? Our president saw that y'all are losing y'all mind and he's had enough. Keep it up, Donald Trump. Ow!
Okay. I agree with him, though. I do. And this absolutely is, it's crazy the amount of people. Yeah, Portland, oh, there we go. Holy fucking shit. You've got a bunch of other people don't want to see. Watch how Antifa runs a full-blown paramilitary organization in Portland. I don't know about being paramilitary, but it's certainly something that's aggressive. I'd say that for sure. What's Trump actually doing about them now that they're terrorists? Well, he's literally sending in the military to run them down and arrest them.
You wrecked it.
I didn't vote for Donald Trump, but if I did, I would say that I voted for this. Oh my God. This is better than watching porn. I've been waiting for this to happen ever since BLM. Thank fucking God. Arrest every single one of them. Get them out. Get rid of them. They're crazy. Thank God. Have you covered all Timu Obama memes? No, I haven't seen any of that. I'd have to look at it later. And what about the bitch from Ghost of Yotai? She's Antifa. I don't care about a voice actress's personal opinions whenever I'm playing a video game. I think she's a dumb bitch. I'll say it. She is. But I don't give a fuck. Because she's not saying her lines. She's saying their lines. If the game is good, I'll play it tomorrow and we'll see what it's like. I think it's gonna have weird stuff in it. I do think so. I could be wrong though, and I'm waiting to make my opinion by playing it myself, the same as I did with Assassin's Creed Shadows and also with Veilguard. So that's what's gonna happen. And do you think it's gonna be good? No, I don't think so. I think that it's just, the game has had so much negativity leading up to its release that it's going to be almost impossible for the game to be able to overcome that and actually have positive reception on social media because of all the stuff that's happened. And so we've got, oh, there we go. Yep, another Antifa member right there. What a surprise. And yeah, and you've obviously got a lot of the police and military that are there. I think this is a massive, what do you call it? Are actually from 2020. I mean, some of them I'm sure are, but some of them are not. Also, like, whenever it was 2020, they didn't do their job there well either. And how are there so many? Well, there's not. It's like maybe a few hundred people. Like, you look at the amount of people that are here. It's a few hundred people. And this is Portland. I don't know if this is actually Portland or not, by the way. This is just literally a random video. So, I mean, for all I know, it could be AI. It's Berlin. I don't know about that. This is real good. This reminds me of my house. Ah. You know what this reminds me of? The undead Berg in Dark Souls 1. You know, like that vendor that's like sitting down there at the bottom and he'll sell you like dung balls and arrows?
He had a way cleaner place than this. He actually had his stuff like organized.
Stalker? Yeah, maybe Stalker too, sure. It's Undead Bird. Blighttown?
Can I pass?
Can I pass? Thank you, Gandalf.
Sorry.
It's polite. What a nice guy. Are there people there? Yeah, they live there. Man. Actual bridge troll? Oh my god. Wow. So that's where things are, and liberals remote. Yeah, and also, by the way, like it's a very bad thing that they're living like this. It's absolutely horrible that they're living like this, and I think that we should divert tax money. Like, I would be fine. This is my opinion, okay? And I pay a lot of money in taxes, so I think that, you know, I deserve to have an opinion on this. I would be okay with paying more money in taxes to take care of these people. I hate the fact that they live like this. I think it's a disgrace to the country. We have people that are billionaires that are driving around in Bentleys and private jets, and we can't afford to keep these people in a place that gives them a degree of dignity. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. You got a lot.
A lot of those people are on like heavy drugs and choose not to live in shelters, though, to be honest. Like, that's a really big aspect of it.
I'm right here. Oh, here we go. Wow, look at that. Prison, yeah. What if they choose to live that way? I think that a lot of the ones that choose to live that way are victims of drug addiction, and I think that a lot of the laws for drug use are made in a way that it treats victims of addiction like criminals, so they don't seek help and treatment in a way that would be beneficial for them. So I think that giving better...
On top of that, it destroys your mind. You know, I've had family members addicted to meth and heroin before, and it changes their entire personality and everything. It, like, takes them over. Like a demon. It's like being demon-possessed. So it's like... Usually they won't even go to, like, therapy unless it's, like, an alternative to jail. You know what I mean? Like, they won't go to rehab unless it's, like... It's either this or, like, multiple years in, like, jail. And they're like, I guess I'll do rehab.
Resources and more resources to making sure that people that are drug abusers and people that are victims of drugs and like addiction, making sure those people have a place to go where they're not treated like criminals or bad people. Like if you're on heroin, if you're doing fentanyl, you're not a criminal, you're a victim. Like I've seen people on heroin and people on fentanyl. Like it's horrible.
They're both. They're absolutely both. With as much empathy as I have for those family members, you know, I loved them to death, you know? It's like, yeah, they would steal and they would be violent and they could, you know, hurt people. And they wouldn't, like, their empathy would drain out of their body when they were on heroin. So they were absolutely dangerous as well. It's, I don't know. They're not just purely victims. That's insane.
Absolutely horrible. And I think that the way that they're treated is horrible also. A lot of them don't want anything other than free shit. Well, I know, hey, listen, you're never going to solve a problem, but you can reduce it. And I think that we should do more to reduce it. That's all I'm saying. That's me. I think we should do more to reduce it. God damn. Agreed, as long as they're citizens, not illegal immigrants. So illegal immigrants and medical care. My opinion is that any sort of life-saving and emergency medical care should be granted to anybody who comes into an emergency room regardless of their immigration status. It doesn't matter if they are an illegal alien. I think it is a betrayal and a subversion of the Hippocratic Oath to tell a doctor and a nurse that they have to let somebody die. I think it's disgusting. And I would not be okay with that. However, I want them to help this person, to help them be well, and then I want to get them on a plane and send them back to where they came from. That's...
I mean, it's fine as long as they call, like, ICE as soon as, like, they enter the building. Like, Hey, take them after we stabilize them, but yeah, get them on a plane and get them out of here because they're parasites on the system. They really are. It makes everything harder for everybody else.
My opinion. Life-saving, yes. Yeah, of course. I agree, but don't just let them free. Yeah. That's my opinion on it. Portland decriminalized most drugs. Well, it's about also having the resources for people that are victims of the drug abuse to seek them, right? You can't just decriminalize all the drugs and then say we're done. It's a problem that you have to solve through 4 or 5 different ways.
Decriminalizing the drugs basically like takes the law's, ability to help these people away from them. You know what I mean? It's like, so they're just going to be bums on the street, like harassing, hurting not just themselves but other people to like get their drugs. It's an insane solution to that problem. Heroin and fentanyl should not be legal. You know what I mean? I've gone back and forth on that a few different times. I've flip-flopped on whether all drugs should be legal or not, but that seeing what it does to people's minds, you know what I mean? Like, no, dude. It should not be legal. It is like demonic shit. It's not, there's nothing that, it's like hardcore bioengineered chemicals that like destroy your brain. I mean, it is the overdose rate is absurd. Like the city I'm from, people drop dead all the time from fentanyl overdoses, and it was heroin before that. So there's meth houses all over the place. It's disgusting. Like that weed doesn't have that. Weed never had that. Like magic mushrooms never had that. It was like, it's these synthetic drugs that are just, they should not be legal in any context. They should come with death penalties for the people who deal with them. Honestly, you should be put to death by the government if you deal fentanyl or heroin. It's absurd.
And so, yeah, there you go right here. Oh, Antifa. Oh, here we go. Okay, we'll watch one more. Okay, guys, here we go. So that's what I think. In the UK, they have medical positions. Yeah, definitely. And would you want them to take your spot if you needed life-saving stuff? Would I want them to take my spot? No, I wouldn't want them to take my spot. But if it was a point, if it was as bad that we literally couldn't deal with the amount of illegal aliens in the country that we had, then absolutely, I think the solution to that is get more money in medical care. Hire more hospital workers, subsidize hospitals and emergency rooms so that's not a problem.
To come out of the taxpayers' dollars. Dude, Asmon is so uneducated on like basic economics. It's insane. Like some of the shit he just spouts. It's like, where does that money come from? The world's most uneducated millionaire. It is absurd how like little he understands about how the world works around him.
Like, I understand your point of view, but I think that the point of view is limited and it's not contextualized inside of a larger picture. So like in a vacuum, what you're saying makes sense, is that if we have to allocate care, I would rather it be allocated to citizens first rather than non-citizens, of course. But that doesn't answer the real problem. And it shouldn't be that small of a margin anyway. Yeah, exactly. Won't this encourage more illegal immigration to get free health treatment for life-saving issues? I mean, if somebody gets shot, I feel like the last thing they're going to do is try to immigrate all the way over to America, right? I mean, like, let's be realistic with what we're talking about here. Like, are they really going, like, somebody gets shot or they have some basically, like, you're literally dying. Okay, I know what to do. I'm going to go over to America as fast as I can so they can take care of me. No, they're literally dying. It's in the nature of what it is. Definitionally, they wouldn't be able to do that. That's just my opinion. Got another one. And so anyway, yeah, this is what's happening. And they're finally arresting these people. I'm very happy about this. It's been a long time coming. I'll certainly tell you that. Tell me, you want to go to the White House and meet Trump? Yeah, maybe. Seems genius to simple-minded folk. Yeah, clearly, right? And yeah, that's how it is. Baron Trump watches you. I feel like I'm a bit too old. A lot of my viewers, all my viewers are old. Be ready for National Guard in Portland? Oh, I have no doubt that, in my opinion, they should use whatever they can to stop this. Like whatever means are necessary to stop people that are doing this. Because ultimately, what is this? It's an insurrection. Not really insurrection, but it's it's like a show of force from people that are ready to use force to prevent the government from exercising the law. Like, you just can't have that. You can't have it. Local police are scared, need the feds. Yeah, I think so too. It's domestic terrorism. Yep. It's the same agitators. Yeah, that's true too. And I really like this comment. I'm going to pull up your message. It's the same agitators moving state to state doing this. Arrest them and send them to Gitmo. I unironically think that should happen. I do. Yeah, just arrest them. Because if you're going around the country causing problems, being violent, like burning things down, hitting people, stuff like that, this is crazy. Like, what is going on here? And yeah, arrest them all. Exactly. Yeah. Why is it so tiny? Because I haven't recalibrated everything for my new computer. But they aren't snatching up mostly criminals. So what are you talking about? Well, if they're snatching up anybody who's here illegally, it's a W. Why should we have somebody who's here illegally who's here? Like, this is a person taking up resources, maybe a place where they're living, all kinds of things that they're taking up, and value that should be given back to an American. That's the reason why, obviously. Yeah, I mean, they're categorically criminals because they're an illegal alien, right? I mean, like, it's really just have you heard of asylum seeking? I don't care about that, and I don't think that I don't want the United States to just be a place where any person who says that they're trying to run from asylum, we just have to let them into the country. I think that's a form of suicidal empathy. I understand some people might want to do that, and, if you want to do a charity that can benefit them and help them in your own way, that's fine, but just adding them into the country isn't really something that I would support. Absolutely not. It's not our problem. There's too many problems in the world for us to solve all of them. I'll be right back. Require people to sponsor asylum seekers with their own money in their own home. That would cut down the slots available and the cost to taxpayers. Yeah, I think it would pretty much reduce it down to zero, wouldn't it? These people always want to write checks that other people have to cash. Oh. Why is he just yelling? He's just yelling. Someone else does something? Yes, exactly, right? Oh, jeez. I love how these people are so programmed by popular media and what to think that the only thing that they can imagine to do to chant is it's a phrase from a very popular TV show where a bunch of fanatical, delusional religious extremists were forcing a person to walk down the street naked because of religious fanaticism. Yeah, really, really great, great way to look at things. Yeah, it really fits, doesn't it? Why are the armed protesters backing up? Probably because their job is to just defend these places. Oh, wow. Somebody threw a smoke bomb. Uh-oh. Hear him yelling? Oh, man. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Just like you guys, you're fucking pathetic.
And you see them, bro, like the thing is that if they had any opportunity to be violent to the people that they don't like, they'd do it. And they did it constantly. Whenever they're in a majority numbers, they're able to do that. And let's see if I'll watch this one, then I want to move on. I mean, we've obviously talked about this a lot.
Andy, why do you think the police chief apologized to Antifa members? I mean, it doesn't seem...
What?
Just that question alone, why would he do that?
Why would you do that?
Why would the Democrats kind of kowtow to Antifa?
He's thinking of himself purely as a political leader rather than somebody who leads a police department in a large city in the Pacific.
Based answer, by the way. Yeah, exactly.
Northwest. He wants to be liked. He wants to get the nice headlines in the local stories. So he's a coward at the end of the day. And he's been saying that the area that the riots have occurred outside the ICE facility is just one city block, and I don't understand how this actually helps the argument, because if it's very small and localized, then why can't you just deal with it? Try to contextualize how little that space is in the whole entire city, and that's misleading, but it raises another question, which is why has the Portland police not been able to police that one city block if it's so small?
Yeah. There it is, pre-watch. I read the title. I didn't know if that's what he was going to say or not for sure, but yeah, there you go. Everybody knows now. Yeah, exactly. They let it happen. So this is, I think, what they do, right? Is that they let these paramilitary organizations like Antifa and other groups like that, they let them create chaos and create problems because they're effective as a political tool. That's the reason why they let it happen. The water cannon clip was hilarious. I haven't seen that at all. I'd have to go back and look at it. Oh, God. Meet the Antifa dwarf marching like a mini-boss while pink-haired banshees screams through a megaphone. Okay, all right, let's watch one more.
Why do you conceal your identity? If everyone knows who you are.
This is crazy for me to watch after I just did all the Novigard quest lines in Witcher 3. This is just crazy for me to watch. Like, I was literally doing this like 2 days ago in a video game. For Novigrad.
Back up before you get hurt. Back up before you get hurt.
Get hurt?
Back up before you get hurt. I'm dead ass. Back up. Back up. Richard, come here. Come here. Help me hide. Come here. Get out.
Get that sharpened.
Cheat. Hide. Cheat. Get it. No. Get it. Let's get him. Let's chase her out. Chase her out. Chase her out.
Is he eating an ice cream sandwich? He's
just eating an ice cream sandwich, living his best life?
Let's chase her. Come on.
Yes, of course. Oh my God.
Man grabber. Oh my God.
Yeah, see, this is just
What a...
Chase her out.
It's Mr. Leahy, he's like, yeah, there you go.
Go, bitch. What you gonna do, bitch?
Some fucking problems with
people? Pretty bitch.
Because your daddy didn't love you? You weren't his special little girl? Is that what it was?
Oh, God.
Or were you too much of his special little girl? Is that
Why would you even say that's so weird?
Yeah,
Who says that?
Down here for all this
I do think that there is a silver lining, that there are a lot of people who are overweight, and this does give them the opportunity to exercise and get out and burn some calories. It's a good thing.
Oh my gosh.
People know what's going on. Oh, man.
It's probably the most exercise they've gotten in months since the last protest.
Oh, man, the YouTube journalists, man, we got, what's going on? Why y'all treating her like that, though?
Uh-oh. Oh.
You guys know Justin?
Uh-oh.
They know you, Justin.
What's really going on?
What is this guy dressed up as? Oh my God. Look at him. You know what? You don't see a lineup like this? The only other place that you see a lineup like this in is the gathering of the Juggalos.
You're not in Texas anymore, G.I. Your country has a man here.
You're wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask and a helmet and in a Prius and a Nissan. What is this? Oh my God. What are these people doing? I don't even know what to say. It's a Fortnite lobby? Yeah, no, it's like a Call of Duty lobby. Everybody just dresses however the fuck they want. And anyway, so yeah, people are absolutely losing their minds and going crazy. And yeah, this is clearly... All right, one more. Literally dragging them away. God. Man. Tag them and bag them, right? Jeez. 3? Yeah. What are these dog squeakers? I don't know. You guys ever think to yourself, like, how about how crazy it is that you have this many people that are this violent and this aggressive over them arresting illegal aliens? Isn't that kind of weird? You just take a step back. That's crazy, isn't it? What the hell is even going on? The squeakers are pigs that they throw at ICE agents. So they're sitting there buying these pigs from Temu that were made in like some third world sweatshop so they can throw them at their police officers because the police officers are arresting people that are illegally in the country. Oh, God. Makes no sense, yeah. I find it to be so incredibly ironic that they're co-opting this Game of Thrones meme that's made off of a militant religious organization. I think it really makes sense, actually. It sure does. Yeah, do you think the people aren't being targeted that are illegal? Do you think that people who aren't illegal aren't experiencing injustice? Yeah, sure. I think that guaranteed, by the way, guaranteed, it is undeniable that ICE will make mistakes. It is unavoidable that ICE will make mistakes. If you go in any prison in America, you are going to find innocent men. I mean, according to them, they're probably all innocent. So the idea that you shouldn't apply a law and you shouldn't apply a rule at all because you're afraid that, oh, well, sometimes people might be unfairly punished or it might be applied to someone in an unfair way. If you apply that reasoning and you extend it to any other law, we wouldn't have any laws. Because every single law that we have has people that are falsely convicted for it. There are people that are falsely convicted for murder. There are people who are falsely convicted for rape, falsely convicted for manslaughter, falsely convicted for... Not at all? Wait. Absolutely. Right? I mean, absolutely. Yeah, the difference is that a citizen can easily prove that they're here illegally. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but what my point is that mistakes that people like this make doesn't, in my opinion, now obviously, like, I think that you bring up a good point that the way that they handle it could be better. You're right. But to say that, well, because you're going to have false positives, this means that you shouldn't apply the rule at all. If you use that logic, we wouldn't have any rules. Because for every law in the books, there's probably a person in jail or who's been convicted of that crime who didn't actually commit it. That's just what I'm saying. That's my whole point. All I have to do is comply and then prove your citizenship at the station. I have no idea. I'm sure that there are cases where ICE does make a mistake. What is this?
Fucking idiots! Goddamn morons! Fucking morons! Fucking morons!
See, you don't see anybody here trying to aggro the tank, do you? They're staying on the other side of the street. Nobody trying to fuck with him. The orc warlord, yeah. Jesus. Man, and yeah, there you go. And bro's memeing on him. Yeah, he's just walking by, man. It's just every day for him, I guess. So this is the Prime Minister of the UK. I know you're worried about the level of illegal migration into this country. Digital ID is another measure to make it tougher to work illegally here, making our borders more secure. The UK is now actually pushing digital ID. I said it was going to take like a couple of years. It turns out it didn't even take a couple of months.
Well, folks, it looks like the conspiracy theorists were right yet again, because just a couple of days ago, Keir Starmer announced that we're all going to be getting a digital ID. Compulsory, not optional, mandatory. You must have one. And maybe you're thinking, well, this doesn't sound too bad because I'm kind of used to having things on my phone by now. You know, my debit cards, my credit cards, my boarding pass to get on a flight. And after all,
this is going to be completely normalized across Western countries in probably 5 years. I know some people are saying that they won't use it. I think that the amount of people that are saying that and the amount of people that will actually do it will be a very different number. Because once people start experiencing inconveniences because they're not complying with this feature, and once there are punishments and things like that for not complying with it, people will immediately start doing it.
Keir has promised that this
will... What are your thoughts on the Mark of the Beast? I don't think this is the Mark of the Beast. It's an ID. It's just simply not the Mark of the Beast. I mean, like, I understand your point, but it's just categorically not that.
Be used to tackle illegal working.
You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID.
Wow. That's a pretty big one, huh? Oh my God. I want to remind you guys that V for Vendetta was in Europe, and it was pretty obviously in the UK.
Simple as that.
Well, strap in, because this is the death of liberty. This is nothing to do with proving whether you can legally work. We already have systems in place for that. This is about the state knowing everything about you, all of your bank details, how often you've visited the hospital, your social media accounts. All of them will have...
Realistically, the government already knows that. And I do want to say this, that we do have a false sense of privacy in Western countries. If the government didn't know that, how do you think that they're arresting people every single day for tweeting? Well, it's because they just figure it out. This just makes it easier.
Eventually be attached to your digital ID. The state will know everything about you and they will be able to totally control you. This is a digital prison. Oh, Lando, that all sounds a little bit crazy. I don't think the British people would stand for that. I agree. Right now...
They are trying to push back against it, and I think that people will they will effectively resist against it for a period of time. But then what's going to happen is that there will be a series of emergencies and a series of tragedies and a series of crucial events that occur that will make people more accepting of digital ID as a way to prevent future tragedies and future catastrophes from happening. That's what I think is going to happen. I think, again, like the best example that I can use is the Patriot Act, right? I think that we can always, you know, go back to that. And I think this is going to follow a similar paradigm.
They wouldn't, but this will take place over 10, 15, 20 years. More and more things will start getting added to your digital ID. Eventually, it'll be your bank account, then it'll be your social media accounts, and every single time, there'll be an excuse from the government about why this needs...
South Korea already has this.
to be added.
Yes.
We need to tackle fraud. We need to tackle social media misinformation and hate speech. Everything will get attached to your digital ID and the state will know everything about you over a long period of time. I'm not saying this happens straight away, but this is the first step. And we simply cannot stand for it.
Yeah, it will be like boiling a frog, where you don't even know that you're getting cooked until you've already been cooked.
I know as well there's going to be people out there saying,
I think a great example of that is cameras everywhere. The ubiquitous nature of cameras now, I think that like in the 90s and the 2000s, people were like paranoid about that. Like, oh, there's cameras everywhere. But now people have just accepted it as a natural reality. And birds, true.
I trust the government, which honestly is kind of an insane position with everything we've seen over the past 15, 20 years. But okay, you trust the government. You trust Keir Starmer. Do you trust the next government? Well, it's going to be Nigel Farage. Do you trust the government in 15 years or in 20 years' time to have total knowledge and total control over you? Do you trust them? If you're saying yes, you're an idiot because you don't even know what that government could look like.
In my opinion, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I think digital ID is inevitable, but digital ID and people's worry about it is a symptom and not a disease. The disease effectively are the laws that digital ID will make it easier to enforce. So what I mean by that is that the real issue is that, you know, for example, digital ID isn't going to stop somebody from saying that I like ice cream. It is going to stop somebody from saying something that could go against the UK's speech laws, for example. So really the focus should not be, because I do, and if you want to fight and resist against digital ID, I respect you, more power to you. I think it's completely inevitable and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Sorry, that's my opinion. That being said, I do think that there is an ability and a possibility to change the laws. You need to change the laws.
This is a communist and a fascist wet dream.
It's a fact, not an
East
opinion.
German
That's where I think
Stasi
things are
could
gonna
never
go.
have dreamed.
2,700,000 people are against it. So what? Like 60 or 70 million people were against Donald Trump, and he's the president.
The tool
They
this
voted
powerful.
against
and you know
Donald Trump.
what? We've actually already experienced a little bit of this, haven't we?
Do you remember the COVID vaccine passports? Those smug little green screens that barred the unjabbed from everyday life, serving as a blatant Orwellian tool of coercion and division. Well, if you didn't take the government at face value, let alone dared challenge them, you faced life-changing decisions.
I think this is a great point that he's making, is that, you know, a good example of how digital ID will be used and could be used is the dystopian way that it was used with COVID. It's actually a good
Travel
point.
abroad or be grounded at home. Keep your job or face financial ruin. See your family or stay isolated alone. Those were some of the choices the government often told you you had to make. Comply or shut up. That is the raw, unchecked power governments can wield when given the tools, and digital ID hands them the sharpest blade possible.
That's also, I think that's a very good metaphor to use, because they can already do all of the things that they can do with digital ID without digital ID. Digital ID just makes it easier for them to do them. Digital ID does not add in a new tool, and it does not increase the amount of ways that the government can, like, control you. It only gives the existing ways an easier path to doing it, basically.
It paves the way for far worse down the line, doesn't it? One authoritarian regime later, and you, your children, and their children could face being sent to camps based on ethnicity, political views, religion, or even health status, as we've already seen. But why stop there?
I mean, I think there's a degree of fear-mongering here, but there's also a degree of truth.
Not seamlessly link your social media profiles, algorithmically scoring your influence and loyalty to the government.
I want you to think about China for a second. China operates a social credit system. Now, the way that works is there are tons of algorithms out there assessing each individual person within China and how...
I'm not sure how legit the social... Like, I really actually don't know a lot about this. I could look at, like, South Korea versus China. Both countries, however, like, South Korea had this thing where if you they would do like a thing where they would check your phone. They could geolocate your phone during COVID, and they would send you notifications that you had to respond to. It was something like that.
Well, they comply with or resist
to make sure you
the
didn't
state.
leave your phone at home
The more
and go
you
outside.
comply with the state, the better your life will be. The more you resist the state, the worse your life will be. The more that they will punish you. And those systems rely on two things that are currently being introduced across the UK and across Europe. Digital ID and facial recognition. We're seeing it everywhere, all across Europe and all across the UK.
And you can say digital ID will curb populism. And I think it's kind of crazy to me that they just come out and literally say it. They literally say that we're trying to do digital ID so we can stop people from having political viewpoints. That's crazy to me.
Both of those things are essential to bringing in a social credit system. And the end result is, well, the Chinese people cannot possibly resist their own government. Their government can do pretty much whatever they want to the Chinese people, and they will do nothing. Because at any given moment, the Chinese government can make life absolutely hell. Basically just turn off the taps for any Chinese citizen. Is that really the future that you want for Europe and the future that you want for the UK? Maybe you want to travel...
I definitely don't. I mean, I don't think so.
Somewhere and you're trying to book a plane ticket, but according to your digital ID, you've already met your carbon quota for the year. So no, try again in a few months. Instead, you try and get a few beers
I think that's very realistic.
From the shop because you're having a barbecue with some friends, but guess what? You've met your alcohol quota for the month, so no, you can't do that either. I'll just sit at home and browse Twitter and go on my social media platforms, but you can't do that either because you're locked out of all of them. Why? You offended someone. Come back in 2 weeks, but if you take this correctional training to improve your wrong think, well, we'll narrow that down to a week.
I think all of his examples are like 3 years away. Maybe the food example's 5. But other than that, I feel like these are really, really possible.
I know that this is a very bleak and dystopian future.
Yeah.
And am I saying that it would definitely happen? No. Am I saying it could happen? Well, it could happen only if such a thing as digital ID exists and it has these sprawling tentacles in
it can happen regardless. They can do it without digital ID, but yeah.
Part of your life. Not the digital ID, the state will control your life or have the ability to control your life and the rights that you have.
Do they think we won't revolt? No, I don't think people will revolt for digital ID. I know that everybody says that they will. I don't actually think that they will.
Access that you have to everything through this ID.
That's my opinion.
Do not give the state the ultimate power over all of its citizens. You will never be able to resist. Don't give the state that power. Expect that if you give the state a power, it will be used against you. Now, I know Keir Starmer's out there trying to convince people that this is some kind of plan to tackle illegal migrants working, but guess what? He's lying to you. It's bullshit.
Well, they're co-opting an issue that they created in order to push a degree of control. This is kind of what I was saying before, like, if you guys remember me saying this a lot, is that I always wonder if some of the reasons why the government allows things to get as bad as it does is because it creates a situation where people will accept the government taking an authoritarian solution to a problem because they're so sick of the problem. It's kind of like how the Philippines elected Duterte because of how bad drug dealers were in there.
Every job I've ever had, I already prove my identification. I show them my driving license or my passport and my national insurance number. It's very simple.
Well, you create a situation that people will solve with any means necessary, and then you create the means that are necessary, which are not in their benefit.
Already have systems in place.
Create a problem,
foreigners working in the country, they have to show an electronic visa. They basically already have a digital ID only for the foreigners who have those visas. It's nonsense what he's suggesting. The people who are working illegally, they bypass all of those systems, and guess what? They'll bypass your digital ID as well. They'll still find loopholes around it like they do with Deliveroo, like they do at the car washes. And look, the government knows where all of these people are and where they're working. Go to any migrant hotel and guess...
If the government wants to invest resources into finding somebody, they will find them. I would say 99 times out of 100. The only reason why they don't find a lot of these people is because they just simply don't care. And it's not that important. 100 times out of 100? Probably, yeah.
passport, there's 50 Deliveroo bikes outside, but the government doesn't want to do anything about it. Let me just put this argument to bed once and for all. How are you going to prove who you are to get your digital ID? You're probably going to have to go somewhere and show them your passport and your national insurance number. Well, guess what? If you can do that, you can already prove your citizenship. It's that simple.
Yep.
So when he's trying to tell you this is a way to tackle illegal migrants working,
well, it is, but it's also not necessary. There are already tools required to do that to begin with, and you don't need digital ID in order to stop illegal migrants from working. They're creating an imaginary, this is like an imaginary like situation where it's like, oh, the only way we can solve this is digital ID. No, it's not. There are a lot of other ways to solve it.
Nonsense.
It's like saying the only way to lose weight is to cut off your leg. No, I could think of other ways too.
Knows where they're working,
cut your arm off
knows how to stop it, but they simply won't do it. Leave the ECHR, repeal the HRA, deport people. They won't do it, and that's the problem. They're trying to pretend that this is their solution because they don't want to deal with the actual solution because, hey, that sounds like a lot of hard work. Do not listen to kids.
Somebody in chat said it's a solution looking for a problem. And I think that's a really great way to explain digital ID. A solution looking for a problem.
Lines about how this is going to tackle the illegal migrant crisis. It isn't. Okay, let's imagine for a second that my philosophical arguments about the death of liberty and walking into a digital prison haven't managed to convince you that this is a terrible idea. Well, let's look at some practical considerations instead. Estonia's digital ID system hacked. The NHS hacked. India's digital ID system hacked. Because guess what? Wherever there's valuable data, and this is going to be the most valuable data, there are people trying to steal it. I almost guarantee that will happen here in the UK. Another practical consideration, cost.
This happens all the time. It happens with private companies too. Sony, it happens with them, what are they, like, what's the quota for Sony? Like maybe once every 2 years?
This will end up costing a fortune. Just like HS2 was meant to be just a railway from London to Birmingham, high speed 2, 20 billion pounds or whatever they said it was going to cost. Now it's going to cost 160 billion pounds. Fantastic. And you're going to think, oh,
wow.
Well, that's because it's a physical thing that's harder to build.
What a surprise.
The problems with building HS2 did not come from the, hey, come on, don't go on the road. The problems with building HS2 did not come from the physical aspect. It was from politicians chopping and changing what they wanted all of the time, messing with the plan. The same thing will happen to digital ID, and it'll end up costing 100 billion, 200 billion. Who knows? We can't even get the NHS.
Imagine spending $200 billion on a system just for it to get hacked in the first month.
Working on one system. Why do you think you can build a digital ID?
It'd be pretty bad.
Absolutely ridiculous. And the final practical consideration, and in many ways this is actually the worst. And
Swiss have accepted digital ID already. Well, China's already accepted it. South Korea has already accepted it. You said Swiss have already accepted it. This will become the norm. And I think the reason why is that there are too many normies on the internet, and there are two flashpoints that brought normies onto the internet. The first one was Harambe, and the second one was COVID. And now, bro, like, it's cooked. It's over. It's finished. Poland too, unfortunately. Yeah, this is the way it's going to be.
Bit of a philosophical consideration as well.
Yeah.
What about people who don't have smartphones or who can't use them?
Somebody who's not a loser.
People who are over 65, 70. A lot of you are able to use smartphones, but you must look around at some of your friends and think, oh, you know, if you're 70 years old, you look at a friend who doesn't use a smartphone and cannot use one.
That's my dad.
So how are they going to have a digital ID? How are they going to access their pension? How are they going to access the NHS? How are they going to access...
Wait a minute. So you're telling me you're going to make all the old people use a smartphone in order to get their money? This sounds to me more like a feature than a bug. You know?
Social media. How are they going to be able to vote? Because it wouldn't surprise me if your digital ID gets linked to voting.
That's
Maybe
evil.
they'll even know who you voted for. That'll be secretly kept on record. Very undemocratic, that. In fact, and this idea just occurred to me, and it's very, very cynical, maybe by the time of the next election, you will need a digital ID to vote. And that way, Labour's hoping they can get rid of a few million pensioners and sneak back in.
Smart.
I don't know if that's true. I haven't really given that much thought. But the practical considerations are one thing, but I don't want you to get dragged down in them because They are secondary to what the future could look like if we actually allow this to come in. And the future could look very bleak. Remarkably, this policy is actually so bad that almost everybody outside of the Labour Party is united against it. And I'm talking about Jeremy Corbyn, Rupert Lowe, Nigel Farage, Ed Davey and Owen Jones. These are people involved in politics on completely opposite ends of the political spectrum. And they all know that this is a terrible, terrible idea. It's the death of liberty. I will keep saying it. But what's that? You want to know where Kemi Badenoch sits on all of this? Well, she's come out and said, oh, there are arguments for it and against it.
Of course,
Kemi
it's the same with
Badenoch,
everything.
the Tories, it's just part of the uni party. Of course, they're not going to come out with a strong stance. It's very, very pathetic, frankly, to be sitting on the fence about this, especially since I imagine a lot of the people who are still voting Tory are actually a little bit older, and they are going to be opposed to something like digital ID, especially the ones who don't have...
I don't think that's true. I think that he's wrong about that. I think that older people will actually embrace the idea of this because they don't fully understand the context of how the internet works. That's what I think is going to happen. And that's the main reason why I think that we're going to have a lot of these laws, is that for older people, they're going to see that, well, I need an ID I got a driver's license. You probably need a Facebook license. Shit. And I think that's all it's going to be. Older people are more likely to conform. Yeah, exactly.
Have access to smartphones like I was talking about before, but hey,
I don't think so. Old people aren't all like this. I agree with you. I don't think that every single old person will have the same stereotypical viewpoint that I am giving to them. But I think that enough of them will be that it will be a majority.
Badenoch, the Tories, Labour,
and if it's not, all they have to do is wait to pass this until there's another terrorist attack, and then right after that, pass it, then they'll all vote for it. That's what I would do. That's what we did with the Patriot Act. Never let a tragedy go to waste.
And let me just say this. This is a real truth bomb that I'm going to drop on you here. Real discussion in Parliament disappeared a long time ago. They created the illusion that these two parties, Labour and the Conservatives, were actually disagreeing or debating topics by shouting and jeering and personal insults. You know, whenever you turn it on at Prime Minister's questions, it's just... It's pathetic.
Well, we have this in America. Like, for example, both parties unilaterally support Israel. There's not a political party that you can be a part of in America that has any sort of real weight to it that is a party that promotes not being invested in Israel's success in the Middle East. This is just like we have this issue here.
But actually, in terms of real significant political difference between these two parties, there's basically nothing. They create the illusion of debate and discussion and difference so that you feel good when you go to the polls. But since Tony Blair, these two parties have basically been exactly the same. So don't be surprised that Kemi Badenoch is coming out with a very weak position. And actually, you know what? There are even people within the Labour Party, to their credit, I guess. I mean, I don't really like Clive Lewis, but Clive Lewis within the Labour Party has come out against this. He said that, no, this is absolutely terrible. A few final thoughts from me, because I feel like I've talked for quite a long time and this is going to be a long video. This was not in the Labour Party manifesto. Keir Starmer did not talk about this when he was asking for your vote because he didn't want to have people like me telling you what
because it's something that's not popular. And it's only popular whenever you can take advantage of people's fear. That's the reason why.
This is really about. In fact, a year ago, take a listen to what Keir was saying.
You have given us a clear mandate, and we will use it to deliver change, to restore service and
This guy's such a fucking limp dick. Like, it's amazing that he even got elected or anybody is listening to him at all.
To politics. End the era of noisy performance.
It's obvious.
Tread more lightly on your lives.
Starmer promised that he would tread more lightly on your life, but I guess he's changed his mind.
Well, no, he was only saying that to migrants.
Now he's bringing in digital ID, Tony Blair's wet dream, the basis of a mass surveillance and control protocol in Britain. This is the sound of Keir Starmer treading lightly on your life. Yeah, I don't think so. Look, what can we do about this? How can we stop this? Well, there is a petition. There's always a petition. It's getting close to 2 million signatures.
Apparently, it's almost already at 3 million signatures now.
I'll link it in the description. I do recommend you sign it. And yes, I know, there's always a petition. The government always ignores the petition.
Yeah, 2.7 million.
However, Because this isn't a left-right issue, and a lot of people are very concerned about this, if this petition manages to get close to 10 million signatures, which is a huge aim, by the way, I think that would be the most signed petition ever, then I think they really do have to scrap it, because this wasn't in the Labour Party manifesto, and about 10 million people actually voted for the Labour Party.
They're just going to do it.
If there are more people who are saying no to digital ID, something that wasn't even in the Labour manifesto, then voted for the Labour Party when they were more popular like a year ago.
Yeah, I don't know about this one,
guys. I don't see how they can
guys.
continue with it. It just becomes very, very obvious tyranny. That's not democracy anymore. That is just tyranny. So yes, I do recommend you go and sign it. Will the government...
I mean, you should sign the petition, right? I mean, at least, try to push back. I don't think it's going to have an effect, but, like, fuck, you might as well do something, right?
Or it probably if it doesn't get enough signatures, but that's all the more reason for you to go and put a signature there.
Mm-hmm.
The other way you can resist is just, resist. I don't plan to get a digital ID, and I think there are a lot of people who won't. And if there's enough people who just say, no, I'm not doing that, then the whole system will just fall apart. Like,
he's right.
What are you saying? If 30% of the country resists having a digital ID, are you just going to make 30% of the people in the country unemployed because they won't have a digital ID? It's not going to work. Similar thing happened with...
He's completely right, theoretically, but I don't really think that, like, there's a lot of great examples of mass civil disobedience like that. Like, there's activist groups that, exercised large amounts of civil disobedience, like civil rights, for example, but, like, mass population civil disobedience, I can't really think of an example of that.
The vaccine mandates, by the way, after a while, people were just like, look, I'm not paying attention to this anymore, and the whole thing kind of fell apart. So that's what we have to do. We have to resist this. It really is very simple. Okay, truly, this is the last point from me, I promise, because I know this is going to be a long video. A couple of days ago, I made a video called Keir Starmer is Finished, and in it, I basically outlined all of the reasons that I think Keir Starmer's time as Prime Minister is coming to an end. I'm not going to repeat everything in this video, but basically, his own MPs are talking about...
I think that's true, though.
Getting rid of him.
I feel like
there's lots of
likes
financial scandals. His cabinet ministers have had to resign in disgrace. Now, there's a really cynical part of me which thinks Keir Starmer, or Morgan McSweeney, his chief of staff, so desperately wanted all of those scandals to go away.
What a surprise.
They thought, what if we just put one much bigger, much more controversial, much worse story out, and that's going to soak up all of the headlines. People will stop talking about the 740 grand illegal slush fund we used to make Keir Starmer Prime Minister. They'll stop talking about all of the tax dodging, Labour MPs and corruption scandals and everything else. And to an extent, it has worked. All of the headlines now are talking about digital ID. So I would say, yes, we should be talking about digital ID. Clearly, I am doing it because I think it's terrible. But at the same time...
Digital ID is happening all over the world. I think that to say that they're doing this as a smokescreen for other problems, I think that there are always happy accidents that happen in government where they take advantage of them. But I also think this is a clear political zeitgeist that's happening all over the world right now. And it's not unique to the UK at all.
Go and watch that video if you haven't already. Don't let Keir Starmer and his grubby little team get away with all of the things they've been doing in the past.
Not mandatory, though? Oh, it will be.
I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I know this is going to end up being a long video. If you've made it all this way, I'm really, really grateful. Thank you. Hopefully you found some of what I was saying interesting.
Maybe you're welcome.
Some of the arguments, some of the points. And let me know your thoughts. I always read and reply to a few hundred comments. Can't reply to all of them, unfortunately, but I do read even a lot more than I actually reply to. So, yeah. Until next time, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.
I think the big problem is the fact that the laws exist that digital ID is activating on. And I think that digital ID, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. People hate this opinion. They do not like this opinion. I think digital ID is inevitable. I do think so. I think that there are too many people that are stupid, naive, and will easily trade away any degree of is that a spider? Any degree of their own personal privacy to have it. I do think that's true. But that being said, I do think there will be ways for you to resist it. I think you should sign petitions. You should try to do whatever you can, etc. But in a general sense, I do think things are going to get a lot worse with this kind of stuff. The government spied on people for a long period of time. Technology just does it on a mass scale. Well, and that's the point that I'm trying to make, right? Is that this core issue is something that has to do with the laws that the issue is making easier to enforce. Because again, in America, this isn't really as much of an issue because you have more freedom of speech, right? You can say more things that are, you know, like problematic or hate speech, you could say. But in the UK, you don't have that freedom of speech. And so really, where is the problem? The problem is the law itself and not necessarily the tool that they use to enforce the law. Because but they are already arresting people for tweets. They're already arresting people for Facebook posts, etc. So digital ID is bad, and you shouldn't want it. But at the same time, the real problem is the law that digital ID is enforcing. That's my point. Big spider? Nah, just like fingertip size. Not that big of a deal. I wouldn't worry about it. I've got 2 of them over there too, but I haven't seen any bugs recently. And because of that, I'm letting it happen. And that's generally the way that I look at things. Let me go back. I'll see a few more of these here. I think it's with the level of violence escalating in the UK currently, I can imagine it being overtuned simply because of how much people despise Starmer and his policies. Maybe, but I think also it's something that, and here's the issue, it's that it is a continual problem that will come up over and over and over. And so all they have to do is get it right once, and then that's it.
Just when you thought the AI slap couldn't get any worse, OpenAI just released the new Sora app, which is a social media platform for making purely AI-generated content. You basically just upload your voice and your likeness to insert yourself in videos, and suddenly you're part of the brain rot too. Now, their latest video model, Sora 2, is so scarily high quality that it's getting harder to tell what's even real anymore, and people are already using it to generate fake CCTV footage of you committing crimes. There's a bunch of fan-made anime.
From now on, anything bad that I say is AI. Anything good that I say is real.
Episodes going around, and there's even a lot of gameplay clips that are pretty realistic. Like the copyright infringement is just off the charts, but the worst part though,
nobody cares,
is that the app is built like TikTok, a non-stop feed of AI videos maximizing ad revenue.
It's Abraham Lincoln.
And I hate that instead of getting the super intelligence that cures cancer, we're slowly being pushed into the endless AI slot machine. Like the boomers and the kids that are growing up now are gonna get absolutely fried by this tech.
Here's the commercial for OpenAI. Introducing Sora 2. This is all AI. All AI.
花火 綺麗だね。でも僕たちは少しずつ離れていく。
Oh.
Ready when you are. 3, 2, 1, go!
That's really good.
You alright?
I'm
good. Okay, this one, alright. I can tell this one isn't real. I can already, I think it's like the graphics or something. Are you sure? This could be Elon Musk's new company, you're right. This actually looks like a Sony exclusive game for PS5. Right.
Whoa, steady. Damn it.
Okay. Well, there it is, right? And how? I don't know. It's like a robot or something. Like, who the fuck knows how a robot works? Everything you are about to see... What is this? Is it fake? Was generated by Sora 2.
1 year ago, Sora 1 redefined what was possible with moving images. Today, we're announcing the Sora app, powered by the all-new Sora 2.
Man.
It's the most powerful imagination engine ever built. And it's packed with new features.
Oh my God.
I'll pass it to Bill for more details.
Now, every video comes with...
This is so insanely fucking good. And I want you guys to keep in mind, this is the worst that it's ever going to be. It will never be worse than this.
Sound.
Look how fast this is going? Yeah, it's
Sora
going
2
really
is
fast.
also the state-of-the-art for motion, physics IQ, and body mechanics, marking a giant leap forward in realism.
This is really good. Man.
It's also insanely expensive for the API. It is ridiculously expensive.
You remember Will Smith? Yeah.
And we're introducing Cameo, giving you the power to step into any world or scene and letting your friends cast you in theirs.
So you can just be in game.
And they technically own the rights to all of it. Isn't that fun?
Game of Thrones now.
On the path to AGI, the gains aren't just about productivity. It's about creating new possibilities.
It's also about creativity and joy.
This is insanely good.
It's not, and like they're never gonna get to AGI. They're just selling slop, and they're not even making any money. It's like, have you seen like the lost profit on like OpenAI?
This is crazy. Yeah, actually, like, this is probably one of the first ones that I've seen recently that has been shockingly good.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think that what really kind of surprises me about this is the fidelity and the lack of inconsistencies. Like, you know, fingers aren't duplicating halfway through. The continuity of this is what really impresses me more than anything else. For $300 a month, I think I already have.
That's why we're launching.
I think I already
Sora
have
2
it
inside the Sora app.
It's actually so, like, there's no way you could realistically tell if this.
Check this out. Look at this sucker. Just check that out. As discussed previously, OpenAI lost $5 billion, and Anthropic $5.3 billion. That's Claude, by the way. Oh man. Some people are predicting it's gonna burn $15 to $20 billion. This was written like 5 days ago. Yeah, dude, it is. These things cost a ridiculous amount of money. Like, you have no idea what the compute cost of this is. Like, this Sora 2 app. And like, when is this going to be monetized correctly? It's like, the API is ridiculously expensive, but there's still like the constantly producing all this free shit. Like, where are they? I don't know, man. I don't know. They really are just hoping to like get everyone unemployed, so there's like no other real solution to it. They're trying to dilute skills. It is big tech is one of the most nefarious business models ever conceived in human history. It really is, and it's nefarious in how it handles, you know, like just look how like they lay people off, like 9,000 people at a time. Like, didn't Salesforce lay off like 130,000 people? Oh, Salesforce lay off. It laid off a ridiculous amount the other day. Okay, so it was only like 4,000 more people out in the job market, but I can't remember like what the total was. Like, I saw a different number the other day where it was like the total number of Salesforce people laid off in the last like year or two was like pretty ridiculous. Oh man, I love how. Oh, let me show you this. I love how Google's just like. The Google AI is like not us though. Voluntary exit package and eliminated manager roles. They did more than that, by the way. Let's just keep it a stack. I have a few buddies at Google that got laid off and they were not managers, so that's a bunch of bullshit. But then again, though, you're asking Google to tell on Google, so that's But Intel, man, oh my goodness, that Intel number. That is crazy, son. Microsoft had a huge amount. Amazon had a huge amount. I thought Meta had laid off more people than that, but that might just be in 2025. I know in 2024 they laid off a ridiculous number as well. Yeah, they laid off 50 people, 100 people. See, like they just managers, huh? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I was just talking to somebody about calculators too. That's crazy. 163 for them. Cloud unit. Yeah, GCP isn't doing as good as the other ones. Ooh, yeah, I saw that. 11,000 from Accenture. Ooh, poor folks. Just managers. Look, AI contractors. Look at that. See you later. Honestly, this is why I would look. Yeah, we're gonna dominate the world, but we're also just gonna lay off like multiple people at a time. Ugh. Ridiculous.
This is AI. Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like if you showed this photo to 100 people, every single person would just assume that it was real.
Allowing everyone to push the limits of their imagination and create in ways we never thought possible.
I thought instantly, yeah, it's so over. No, it's only just begun. This is the future now, guys. Imagine showing this to somebody just 3 years ago. I told.
Nah, if they go bankrupt. Honestly, the Chinese might be our saviors in this one, guys, because they are doing the open source model thing, and they have a few models coming out that are pretty ridiculous. Like, hold on, let me see if I can find it.
I told y'all this shit was gonna happen. Oh, and by the way, remember what I was talking about with Saudi Arabia? Guess what they're doing? That's right. That's right. So, big surprise, Saudi Arabia and EA is now using AI. Will rely on AI as a way to reduce production costs and increase EA's profits in the coming years. That's it. Bro, this is replacing everybody's fucking jobs. The OnlyFans girls are terrified. Well, they've already been doing that. Have you guys, if I go to my Instagram Explore page and I scroll down, I can probably find like 4 or 5 different AI girls. It's actually very common now. They already got CN, by the way, not started. Yeah, I'm telling you, adapt or die. No, it's becoming huge. Show us? Well, I'm just telling you that's how it is. They're not using AI to make better AI. Well, that's the idea of the
It's not the idea. Jesus Christ. Listening to this fucking retard talk about this, I'm sorry, I don't like to use terms like that, but God, he is so uneducated on, like, what, like, he has no idea what the fuck this stuff is, and, like, how this market works. He's a fucking idiot, dude. You just show that he's the type of people you just show him something fucking fancy. He's like, oh my god, look, it's so great. I bet you this is one of the idiot. Like, oh, the metaverse, it's gonna be amazing. Oh, ugh, Jesus Christ, dude. It's like irritating as fuck listening to this guy talk. I used to actually like Asmon's takes, but man, like lately they've just become like, if you like pay attention to the shit he says, it's like so uneducated. Even though I like align with him like a lot of topics, it's like he's ravagely like he just says shit. Well, You know, like, what else do you expect from someone who's never worked a job, who's got no background in tech? He's got, like, what the fuck would he know about it? But no, China's Qwen 3 is going to be pretty ridiculous. I can't remember. It's trained on, like, trillions of... hold on. It's... I don't want to misspeak on this, but... I think it's trillions of tokens, if I'm not mistaken. It was ridiculous what it was trained on. Is it going to be on here? Over potential. Can use up to 1 million tokens. But the model itself was trained on like trillions of tokens. I swear to God, I watched a YouTube video on it. $2 billion to 7 billion parameters. I mean, that's, you know, that's pretty absurd in and of itself. But then there was like, what was the thing that was like trillions? I was like, that's ridiculous. Honestly, I really hope OpenAI gets just their shit shoved in from being like way too expensive. It is one of the most like, he's like diabolical. Like, I think you're gonna figure out how evil Sam Altman is in like the near future. $36 trillion tokens. That is what? 30 trillion initial, 5 trillion after that, and another little extra trillion to top it off. I mean, my God, what did that cost to trade? Probably wouldn't. Ooh, there we go. $53.4 billion, ladies and gentlemen. That is... Hope you got that sticking around your pocket, dude. Ridiculous. I mean... And they made their stuff open source. See, that's the one thing is like... OpenAI was supposed to be open source. That's the reason why Elon Musk has beef with Sam Altman in the first place. Is because he backed out on that and decided to go for profit like a dick. And I don't know, man. I feel like China's been observing them real hard, you know, and DeepSeek shook them up for a minute. But man, this Qwen 3 thing is going to be, I don't know. It's going to be pretty ridiculous, especially if it gets any kind of like real adoption and it's like distinctly cheaper, because I think it's going to be distinctly cheaper. I got to do a price analysis of all these things eventually, but I'm just so sick of hearing about AI at this point to where I'm like ugh. I'm in tech, so I hear about this shit every day. it's not like I run across it every once in a while like this dude who's like too busy watching YouTube and like basically all Asmon does is play video games and react to YouTube videos. It's like the bulk of his career, but like if you work in this profession of like tech, like you're a software engineer, DevOps engineer, especially if you do anything AI focused, in particular like ML ops, data science, or like ML engineering or something, it's like down your throat 24/7. You don't stop hearing about people hawking their own little stupid solution or whatever the hell. And it's like, I saw something like, hold on, MIT, what percentage of AI projects will fail? 95% of corporative generative AI pilots fail to deliver business value. I mean, they're gonna fail. That's what that means. They're gonna literally just not make it. It's like, so a lot of these companies will dump in millions, if not billions of dollars, depending on their size, trying to develop these solutions, and most of them, the vast majority of them, will fail. Not to mention the Y Combinator and other, like startup funds that will just be blown on this garbage that people are like, they're sick of it. Like I saw like the new like ChatGPT app has like a way to like integrate Spotify to like organize a playlist for you. Like who the fuck needs that? Like it is so stupid, and that's like the third generation of their stupid like apps built into their projects. That the first two have already failed. I mean, OpenAI is only like a few years into production, and they've already had to can 2 different like versions of their app store already. So it's like, if you dump money, because people will dump money into putting stuff out there, they're like, oh, there's such a big market share, but it's like, who's gonna actually use it? Like, I don't know. Some of these things are like dumb to integrate with, and it's like, and there's so many code tools already, and honestly OpenAI is not one of the better ones. Like Anthropic's Claude is vastly better at producing actual code, so it's like, I don't know. It's like they've gone to shilling slop, and artists hate it and people don't like it, and it's going to be ridiculously expensive, especially considering like your first takes aren't going to be good, so you're going to have to like regen all these tokens. So it's not like, I believe I saw something like it's going to cost like $8,000. I can't remember. It's like $8,000 or $9,000 for an hour of high quality footage. But then it's like, that's your first try at it. That's not like multiple scenes, because like, you mean like really good directors do like multiple takes and slap them together. So like the final product is like, I don't know, like how much net footage does the average director take for a 2-hour film? 200 hours of raw footage. So like, Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and granted, for like big budget studios, sure, but then they're like, I don't know, man. Eventually actors are going to get into like not allowing their likeness to be used for AI. There's going to be some lawyers involved with that, so then they're going to be like, you're going to have to pay them funds anyways, and I'm assuming, you know what I mean, they're going to be against that, because it literally just basically leaves them out of a job. You know what I'm saying? Like using their likeness in AI. So that's going to be an interesting thing once that takes off too. I'm not sure. It's just, but the server is like I just showed you guys, it's burning $5 billion. Like he's like in the hole $5 billion. He's not making that. And it's like, how long is it going to take them to dig out of the hole? I mean, Uber and DoorDash managed to do it, but like their cost was nowhere near as high. They put that cost on their user, right? Like Uber was like, yeah, screw the drivers, and DoorDash said the exact same thing, screw the drivers, screw the delivery drivers. So it's like, this is on them. They, like I said, keeping it in-house made it like, I don't know. it's probably gonna, and all they need is one competitor to make them not like super the one and only choice. Like everyone's like chasing AGI, but like what happens when everyone hits it at the same time? Then who's gonna actually profit off of it? It's not gonna be one AGI. It's gonna be like, I don't know. It's a stupid business model. A lot of people are gonna lose jobs because of like corporate greed to produce substandard projects, and it's gonna take the soul out of everything. It's so moronic. Honestly, this type of video just makes me like cringe. It's like watching him just react to like slop and say it's so good, it's so good. It's like, ugh. Yeah, I think I'm good with Asmon for the day. Like, I think I got like what 6 videos in on him. His take on, like, watching an idiot react to AI is so nauseating to me. It genuinely makes me nauseous. It's like, ugh. This guy does not know what he's talking about at all. But anyways, guys, I'm rambling at you. I'm probably going to get to, like, work on something else. You know, I got some code I got to write. I've been writing a little bit of it, honestly, while listening to him. But it's like, I don't know. Do I really want to, like, listen to this guy ramble about AI for any longer? Probably not. But yeah, I'll be back probably tomorrow. So, thank you guys for watching.